Reliving the Extreme.
My name is Bubba Ray Dudley.
I don't need a weapon. My hands are my weapons.
This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are discussing the episode of ECW from March the 8th, 1994. Ladies and gentlemen, Nate Maxon here with you along with my brother Aaron.
Hello.
And the one and only Mr. Chad Austin as well is here with us, of course.
Well, I'm glad the corpse of Aaron could be here. Hello. What are you, Uncle Leo?
Hello.
Oh, you're doing the hello. Hate that episode, by the way.
We are talking, like I said, about March 8th, 1994, coming out of the event from March 5th, 1994 at the ECW Arena, which there is some footage of that event on this show. Let me see here. All right, we'll just roll into it. You guys have anything you want to discuss before we get into this bad boy?
I guess not.
Aaron?
I think we already discussed current stuff, so
We
just
did.
roll into
It'll
it.
be all right. So I do have here the results from the March 5th show at the ECW Arena. Estimated attendance 1,400, standing room only. So we've definitely made leaps and bounds as far as audience goes. When we talk about shows from a year ago, there were probably maybe 40 people there.
I don't know. A year ago? No. I mean, well, yeah, I guess.
I think we were still.
right.
I think we were still in Cabrini a year ago, though. So
Yeah,
in all
right.
fairness,
I would say probably what do you said it was in the 1,400 range?
it said estimated attendance 1,400, standing room only.
Does that include the people that live nearby? And the people that work there, because I remember it not being that much. You know, I would say probably maybe 600-700 range, because maybe it's because the way they sat them, because they never sat them like it was for TV, where they put them all on one side. You could just do whatever the fuck you wanted, and the chairs weren't even bolted down, so you could just move
around.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a pretty big number for 1994. Where are you going?
The results here, we'll just run through them really quick because some of it actually is, like I said, featured on the show. Sandman pinned our friend Chad Austin in 9 seconds, but they do show footage of that on here, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Hawk beat Mr. Hughes. Tommy Dreamer pinned Jimmy Snuka. 911 beat Paul Lauria and Mikey Whipwreck, which we'll also get to that. The Bruise Brothers beat Kevin Sullivan and Tasmaniac when the Public Enemy ran in and attacked the Bruise Brothers with pipes. A 3-team brawl erupted that lasted longer than the match itself. Sabu pinned Mike Awesome to retain the TV title. And after being punched by Terry Funk in a tape fist match main event, Shane Douglas was unable to answer the 10 count and lost the match at 22:46. So that was the card from March the 5th. Terry Funk is still the ECW champion. Sabu's still the TV champion. And we start off this show with footage from that event of 911 in the ring, ready for his handicap match against Mikey Whipwreck and Paul Lauria. There's a Paulie chant going on in the audience.
Well,
and
you just ran down the whole entire card. I thought the show was over by now. I was getting ready to give you my plugs. Is that the new format now, Nate? Is that how we're doing?
No. I was running down the results from the March 5th show.
Oh, okay. I'm just sitting there going, what are we doing a show for?
Thanks. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time around. I'm the Hambone of the week.
Oh, no, you're not.
We will get to that later on as well. But we do see this footage, 911 against Mikey Whipwreck and Paul Lauria with the double choke slam. And you know what? I have to say, there isn't a lot I wrote down here, obviously, but the crowd was hot for this. Like, the 911 was over.
I'd love to know what happened right before 911 came out. Something had to
those
happen.
People amped up.
Yeah, there's no way. There's just no way that 911 put the crowd in a frenzy like that, where they're chanting ECW 911. I'm just like, 911 for what? In case he gets hurt? Like, I mean, he hasn't been there long enough. Am I wrong? I mean, in thinking this, or there would have had to have been something. You think, right?
Aaron, what do you think?
I'm thinking probably Paulie cut a promo and got them all amped up.
And that could be because, like I said, there was a Paulie chant. So Paulie probably came out and told everybody WCW and WWF blow and et cetera, you know.
Dude, I mean,
because they were definitely not chanting for 911 in his vest. Like, my only notes on this match is that 911's vest is totally varsity, or 911's vest is totally Variety Club. It's a Variety Club vest. It's Variety Club in it, in my opinion.
Him tagging up with Sandman in a wetsuit.
Like, how are you supposed to be intimidated in that vest? Like,
dude, I thought the open was hot. It was a hot open. I mean, I was completely shocked. Like, in 1994, because, you know, me being there and nobody knew what kind of company that was, where we were going. And when I watched it, I'm like, dude, these people were hot. And they were hot for 911. And then literally they didn't know who Mikey or Paul was, but they still shit on them because they knew they were job guys.
Yeah.
You know? And I thought that was great because they got it. They believed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And boy, did they get up for 911's chokeslam.
Yeah.
Because normally it was rough. I got to be honest. I took it more times than Mikey did. And the first one and the second one were okay. But anytime after that, he got blown up. And he would literally just toss you. Like, however you jumped up is how far he tossed. And that kind of sucked after a while because you couldn't control how you landed.
Right. Well, I guess we're going to blame the vest for that, right, Aaron?
Yes.
Oh, the fringe? I got my leg hung up on one of his fringes. It twisted me around on my way down. But this was all before the show, right? This was like the opening of the show. So the show hadn't even started, right? Right. So this is the segment where Big Boogs does the open for ECW now.
It's 911. Yeah.
I mean, even though this is 2 weeks ago that we watched the show, I still looked down and I wrote, did I write Rick Boogs? Like, I got a Rick Boogs joke about ECW because the generic music is so bad.
Well, the thing about this TV episode is I don't know when because there's stuff on here that it wasn't on the March 5th show. They interspersed the two things together, so it must have been from the TV taping either right before or right after this show. As an example, the next match we get Joey Styles in the Eagle's Nest. He's waiting for Shane Douglas to come in for commentary. And the next match, Bad Breed versus Johnny Hotbody and Tony Stetson, was not actually at the March 5th show. So it was at one of the TV tapings, obviously.
Yeah, that was probably the one in like the end of January or something, right?
yeah, something like that. We're still playing up the story, what if you want to call it that, of Hotbody and Tony Stetson having their heat with each other. Aaron, what did you think about this?
They broke up like 3 times. Like, they break up and then they're just back teaming together again. It's just like,
dude, the fact that they couldn't include Donnie Allen in this storyline because they were like all 3 like Philadelphia, like, you know, mainstay guys. Yeah, they're not getting along. And why couldn't Donnie Allen come out and just keep them all together? And be like, look, man, you know, we're all alumni. Come on, let's go get them.
Yeah, the writing's
fucked up.
The writing's on the wall, guys.
Yeah, we're getting.
We all live in the same apartment. We all live in the same apartment. We can't have this heat.
Yeah, why?
Come on.
Why couldn't they? when you say they saw the writing on the wall, why couldn't they accept that as the angle? Where Donnie Allen goes to their apartment and goes, "Hey guys, look, we know we're getting ready to get written out. We got to go out with a bang. We got to do something big." Well, I guess they didn't. I don't think they did. At least when I worked there, I don't think they did anything big on the way out.
Shane Douglas during this whole match is talking about the Rotten Brothers weight problem.
Yeah, just a bunch of fat jokes.
Yeah,
rotten was the word.
He said the Bad Breed had midnight snacks underneath their belly button.
Well, that's how you put over a fucking heel tag team that you want to be credible. That's great.
Yeah, good job, Shane.
But the problem was this whole entire thing was an angle match.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about the Bad Breed. It was about Hot Body and whatever his name was, Strabroni.
Well, that's backwards. I mean, let's be honest. You're and you can. I mean, what'd you say? What'd you say, Aaron?
He said it was against Hot Body and that Jabroni. I said it's Tony Jabroni.
it was Strabroni, the Hitman Strabroni.
Let's see here. I'm trying to. Do I have any actual? Yeah, there's not a lot of notes here on this match. It was what I was getting at was it was. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna say there's a point where Axel Rotten throws a drop kick. And Sandman no longer officially has the worst drop kick in ECW. Like his drop kick was fucking trash. And then there's a point in the match at like 9 minutes and 15 seconds, which shows you how long this match was.
You know how long the match was?
I know where I wrote down the timestamp where I saw this because Hot Body stiffs the fuck out of Axel Rotten with a clothesline. Stiffs the fuck out of him. To the point where, like, Shane was making all them fat jokes and everything, but when that happens, he's like, "Holy like Jesus Christ!"
Look,
like,
I'll tell you what. I don't think Axel's not a known badass guy. Like, literally, he's universally loved. Always was universally loved, and I don't think Hot Body went out of his way to stiff Axel because even though Axel is a good. Good-natured guy. He's still a 320-pound dude, that, he's from Baltimore, so he knows how to scrap. So I don't think Hot Body took liberty. If he did, then fuck, and then Axel's a bigger pussy than I thought he was. But I didn't think that.
Maybe Axel or something, but he cracked the shit out of him with that clothesline. It was pretty rough.
I mean, Axel can work stiff. That's not a problem. Axel ain't got a problem working stiff. He never has.
The only other note I have is that Ian Rotten is incapable of doing anything off the apron. Like everything he tries to do off the apron just looks like shit.
Yeah, anything that looks decent off the apron. Like he doesn't even know how. Like, just imagine if it was a pay-per-view and the action spilled out to the floor, and then Ian piles out to the apron. Only thing he did was move his hair to the side.
It's like watching a trash bag hit the ground.
Yeah, he literally he runs and just flings himself at you. Like it's the most non-impressive. Like that dive is usually gets a oh shit or a oh, but now when Ian does it, it's always like a why the fuck you do that?
Oh, like
okay. That I'll
that's cute. He's trying to do something.
Yeah,
he's trying to do something. That's cute.
I'll take all. Oh, that's exactly what I do when I watch Monday Night.
Oh.
I sit here and watch it, and Jess keeps saying, "Why do you keep watching?" And I said, "Because I love it, because it's so bad."
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually gotten to the point now where it's so bad that I can't actually make fun of it.
You're right. It's like for a while, it was like a wrestling show being a bad parody of wrestling, and now, I mean, I don't know. Again, I've said this before. I watched the 90-minute Hulu version, and I fast forward through that. I have no idea how anybody could make it through 3 hours of that show live.
And how they draw people at
it. Jesus, how?
What the fuck?
I don't even know if I'd want to go see it live. What? Like it used to be cool to go to Raw or SmackDown or whatever. I don't know that I'd go to a house show still, but I don't know if I'd ever want to go to a TV taping.
No. I mean, I can't understand. I can't understand who wants to go see this. I don't fucking know. I don't understand. I mean, the WWE universe keeps saying how they have like 55 bazillion people. They got people that live on different fucking planets that are subscribers to their network and shit and everything. And I'm just like, who watches it? Well, I watch it, but I watch it and I just stand there and just stare at it.
Yes.
And I wonder if my marriage is in question.
You find yourself drooling a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm thinking, like, how many more hours can I subject my wife to watch this before she finally says, that's it? Got to take you and your Portland wrestling out of here.
Hit the bricks.
It's brutal. But anyway, what's more brutal is after Ian and Axel were killing these fucking two guys, which I wrote was a doozy. Didn't we get like an update on the wonderful Miss Peaches?
Yes, we got more of the we got some repeat of that awful video from last time.
Yeah, with the shitty music and the video tracker.
Yeah. Interspersed with then some footage from the March 5th show of the Sandman giving Chad Austin a DDT and pinning him in 9 seconds.
Well, I was robbed. Yeah, I know ECW has different rule sets where your shoulders don't necessarily have to be on the mat to be counted 3. But let's be honest, Sandman kicked me below the belt, Spike DDT'd me, and my shoulder was completely up, like even before the 2 count.
It's 2021, and this finish is still disputed.
Well, yeah, it's like the Montreal screw job. Because if I want to get a job at Walmart down the street, I got to put my resume on there. I still got to explain why I lost to the Sandman in '94.
And you're like, I didn't lose to the Sandman in '94. And the guy's like, but the record book says you did.
I got to go pull it off my phone. The Peacock Network. It's a whole to-do.
Hope it loads.
Dude, that was like, I don't even remember that match. I swear to God, if you would have told me that I was in the ring and nothing happened between me and Hack, I would have said that's what I thought would have happened. Mm-hmm. I literally would have thought that. Because I'm like, there's no way. I don't remember any of this. You know? There's no way that me and him had a match. But then it actually really wasn't a match.
Right. Yeah. Did you guys notice the ditch the bitch sign in the audience?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was too busy getting planted.
This is the basically the unveiling of the new Sandman to the ECW audience. So I was partly responsible for that? Yeah. You were the first guy for the new Sandman. The whole match is in black and white, which I didn't remember that. I don't know how many times they do that. I don't know if that's a thing they do going forward for a while or what. But yeah, this whole match is in black and white.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling me if the Sandman wouldn't have had to beat me up so bad, he would have never turned heel on his wife and left his family. It took him beating me up.
Would have him out there with anybody else. That Sandman gimmick would have flopped right out the bat. We would have never had it. So Sandman owes you his career.
Oh, see, I gotta add that to my resume. I got the Sandman over.
The
first 911, now Sandman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's next. I mean,
you made Pitbull too. You got him his start.
No, that's Pitbull 1, I think.
Pitbull. I meant Pitbull also. I'm sorry.
I got a Pitbull over.
A Pitbull, yeah.
Neither one of them are really that over.
Well, Peaches comes.
That was me getting people.
Snuka was floundering.
Snuka was floundering
until he got in the ring with you.
Oh, dude, he was
his career.
Clearly, you guys saw the match. We reviewed the match. He was lost. He was confused.
He had no idea how to TCB that night.
He didn't know where. He didn't have any direction. He didn't know where he was going. Yeah, of course. I mean, now I know what my job was in ECW was to work with these guys and get them on the right track. You know, I mean, mentally. You know, and Jimmy, I used to show him where the gym was. It's down there.
Remember in the NWA when Josephus had his spiritual guide? Chad, that's what Chad is in ECW. He's a spiritual guide for these guys, bringing them along.
Oh, yeah? Is that what that was?
So after the fact here, Peaches comes out, and we get Sandman. Like Aaron said, he's getting his attitude now. He grabs her by the wrist. And then Tommy Cairo comes out to get in the middle of this domestic event. and gets a DDT by the Sandman for his efforts. And this is kind of the beginning of what's to become the Tommy Cairo Sandman angle.
Yeah, Tommy Cairo. He somehow seems to fucking find out where where the ECW arena is. I mean, I'm not sure he was asked to be there, but he somehow finds it every month. Aaron, I mean,
I just, like I said, this was like the coming out party for the Sandman character, and I am looking forward to the things to come because the Tommy Cairo Sandman feud is actually pretty fun. I think I enjoy it.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I think you're right. I think I haven't seen it in years, but I think it is pretty. I mean, especially for this time, if you think back to this time in wrestling,
I agree.
It was different, and
it was kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. And, I liked it.
It was like in the '80s, there would always be hints. There would always be hints that Macho Man might be thumping on Elizabeth or whatever. But when you get into this, Hogan. Yeah, and when you get into this Sandman Peaches angle, they don't beat around the bush as far as that goes. It's just out there.
Well, Tommy beat around the bush.
Jesus,
that's what got him in trouble.
Up next on the show, the Bruise Brothers are in action against Hack Myers and who the hell was that other guy? Chad, do you know?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
I thought it was Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, is that Red Tyler guy that used to do jobs on the WWF in the 90s? But it wasn't him either.
Well, he used to do jobs in the WWF in the 90s, and he used to do jobs in WCW in the 2000s and 90s. But that was my good buddy, Hollywood Bobby Starr.
Was it really? I did not even recognize him.
Well, how could you? He was too busy getting thrown around the fucking ring like a rag doll. I mean, his parents wouldn't even recognize him. I'm not even sure if the authorities showed up after the crime, they would have recognized him. Bob was a guy, like, I don't know. He came along a few years before me, even though we're the same age. He came around a few years before me, and he started doing jobs, and he considered, I'm working for the WWE. I'm working for the WCW. And we all were just like, no, but you're just doing jobs. But this dude got to work Jushin Liger. He got to work Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah. How do you fucking argue with that? Yeah.
I'm yelling. I got to work Adam Flack. I mean, Keenan Creed. I worked Keenan Creed. But he got to work everybody down there, and they all loved him. And when he got me in down there, well, I'm not even sure he got me in, but when I went down there, like, everybody loved Bobby. Mm-hmm. And he was great, but he had no idea what ECW was about. He was expecting to go out and do the hotel tour, kind of thing, and then go out there and like, yeah. But when the Harris boys beat the shit out of them, Dwayne's not a slack ass. Gilbert, he'll fight back. Mm-hmm. Bob's not a bad. They beat the stuffing out of Bob. They threw him around, dude. I bet you people left with fucking red hair as souvenirs. it was like stuck in the guardrails and shit from where they were trying to like bust open the guardrails.
Yeah, my notes literally on this match are the Bruise Brothers beat the shit out of these guys and then a double boot for the pin. That was my entire notes for the whole match. I
mean, I know I've said it the past couple weeks, but just how great would it have been if now the ice cream man's not here, then now the neighbor's beating his kids. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the
too
neighbor
much money
beating
on
his
the
kids. Yeah, I'm not getting involved. It's I got too much going on here with the Bob Starr match.
If the police try to subpoena this podcast as evidence,
you're gonna blame Bob Starr?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob, he couldn't have waited for the weekend to end fast enough, because I think he wrestled once or twice afterwards, because that whole entire weekend was a TV taping, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like TV's being taped. And Bob wrestled a couple other times, but I don't think he had it so bad. I think he may have wrestled the fucking Rockin' Robin, whatever his fucking name is, and a couple other guys. But yeah, the Bruce Brothers are the ones that beat the shit out of him. And I remember watching on the monitor, and he's going, like, Bob's a close friend of mine, just going, "You're a fucking idiot." Like watching him getting beat up like that. Like, he didn't do anything to fight back. Not that you're going to do a whole lot to begin with, but at least show something.
That's what I was going to say. At least during the match, Hack did. Hack threw some, he threw some haymakers or whatever and tried to.
Yeah, he just wasn't going to let Ron or Don or Billy and Bob throw him around the fucking ring like Bob did. And, like, Bob never takes them bumps. He never takes them big-ass bumps like that. And they were hip tossing him up and down the aisle. And I'm just laughing, going, because every time I worked him, it was hard enough to get me for him to take a shoulder tackle and bump. But yeah, that to me was special to me because I popped huge for it because I love Bob. He's a personal friend of mine, but I just knew he was in for a world of hurt.
And he was indeed.
Do you think he knew it going? Do you think he knew it going in, or it was just like the first shot? He was just like, "Fuck," it was just out of it.
No. I think the way that it was posted, it was probably posted on the door that you walk out, like the door, like, right, remember they had that big fucking floral arrangement thing where you walk out of the curtain, like that was a prop in the locker room, like they found it. It wasn't anything that they put there. They just found it and thought, oh, that's great. And yeah, he didn't know, and I wasn't even about to smart him up because he thought that this is like WCW at Disney, where he's gonna wrestle like fucking Steamboat or somebody. But no, he didn't.
That is not how it turned out. The next match on this show, we have Kevin Sullivan and Taz defending the ECW tag titles against the Public Enemy. This is interesting to say the least. There's a lot going on here during this match. Kevin Sullivan's wearing out Rocco Rock with a hammer. Taz puts Johnny Grunge through a table at one point. Aaron, you want to delve into this? Delve into this thing?
Yeah, it was just a ECW style match. It was I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was entertaining, and this show after the Bad Breed Tony Stetson hot body match actually starts to kind of look like what we're talking about with the ECW evolving and becoming what it is. It's like, okay, like they're looking at it, it's like, oh, maybe this is it. And I know they're going to let us down. And that week's going to be terrible, but these couple segments, Sandman thing, everything like that. It's like, oh, this is what ECW is. And like I said, next week we'll probably get like Sal Balomo versus fucking Metal Maniac or something.
Yeah,
it's like this is
Maniac.
Cabrini memories.
Yes, Cabrini's like a bad chili dog. It just keeps coming up.
It's like ECW's wrestling at the Chase. It's Cabrini memories.
ECW's wrestling at the Chase.
Going back in time to Cabrini.
Oh my god. If they did if somebody like Mikey did a reunion show at Cabrini College,
wrestling at the Cabrini,
yes, the Brini, they just call it the Brini,
the Brini, yeah, I love it. The finish of this.
There's enough people that live around Philadelphia that we could get. We can get Mike. I mean, Stevie. We could get Shane. Yeah, we can get Meanie. Yeah, we can get enough people to do a show there.
As long as AEW doesn't sign them all first.
It's like Vince said that his dad always said, his dad always said the Godin is the Godin. It's like the Brini is the Brini, You can make it.
Yeah. It's the fucking Crokian Hall.
That's what Sal that's what Sal said, Aaron. The Brini is the Brini. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Oh, anywhere. What's the matter, you?
You just gotta love the kids, and that's all you gotta do.
Yeah, that's what his probation officer needs to look into. that he loves the kids. I don't fucking like kids.
The finish of this match has the Bruise Brothers coming out and getting involved. Rocco essentially gets booted on top of Kevin Sullivan to get the pin, so they kind of win the match by accident, but the Public Enemy win the tag team titles.
Yeah, well, I didn't get anything out of this whatsoever. Nothing stuck out to me. Nothing was I mean, Kevin Sullivan was terrible as usual, but at this point you've come to be used to Kevin Sullivan. And then you got Public Enemy who aren't any good to begin with, so you only got Az is the only guy you focus on, and what is he doing? All they're doing is punching heads, around the ring and shit. Yeah. The match didn't do anything for me whatsoever.
Aaron?
It was kind of fun. It was funny at the end, though, like after they lost, because Taz did the crying thing.
Yeah. It was almost like.
But Taz did it anyway. Taz was like,
I was crying.
Taz isn't mad that Taz wasn't mad that he lost the belts or whatever. He was just mocking Sullivan. Like I said, I didn't dislike it, but it was like Chad said, there wasn't anything special about it, but it just kind of was what it was. Kind of a lame finish, but he's got the belt off of Taz and Sullivan. I think Sullivan's probably gone here soon because I think he starts getting more involved with WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is 94. So, yeah, I would say, oh, my God, March 95, that was pretty much a big year for WCW, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I guess he was probably already on loan, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think, like I said, around we're getting to a couple of months here from when Terry Funk's going to be working ECW too, or WCW, I'm sorry. Also,
and Sully was already doing double duty. What I mean is that I think this is when Sullivan started getting more involved in the actual backstage shit of ECW or WCW. I think that's probably why they're winding him up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think that this was just him fulfilling the rest of his dates, and while he's there, he's totally going to fucking scout talent. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to work here and then work in a bigger company and that needs talent, and I'm not going to look at anybody here. I'm just shocked that he didn't approach me. I'm flabbergasted.
But I lost my.
That's all I got. Yeah, see, I threw you off track with I can't believe WCW didn't take a look at me. That I threw you off track.
I lost my notes
about why WCW didn't take a look at me.
Yeah, why do you think they didn't take a look at you?
Because they didn't see me. Nobody showed me to.
And then after all of this, Jay Sully tries to interview the Public Enemy. He's chasing them to their car, and they jump in the car and they drive away. Really, really.
He says back door twice too. He's like, I'm here at the back door trying to get the Public Enemy coming out the back door.
Yeah. And they drive away really fast. I was kind of hoping the car would get stuck in reverse, honestly. But it didn't happen.
Wasn't that another crappy ECW car that they used at the production place, like a Mazda RX-7 or something? What wasn't that another how many crappy cars? What kind of money do these employees make at the studio? They got to use a Ford Escort to make a quick getaway in.
And then
they literally left the building, they walked out of the building with the title.
Mm-hmm. And then they got in that car and drove away. Probably didn't make it but a block before something blew. But still,
the check engine light came on.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny!
We blew a gasket.
There's coolant everywhere, Johnny. There's coolant everywhere.
Man, Johnny, we're running out of gas. I told you 99 cents was not really what a gallon costs. I can totally see that. They missed the boat on them skits.
Yes, they did. Just those two with a bad transmission. Those two with a bad transmission is a half an hour right there.
They could do spots for all kinds of local automotive places.
Shift, Rocco, shift.
Oh, Johnny, that car we stole the other day? Which one? That Monte Carlo? Yeah. Well, it's got a bad transmission, so you know where I'm going to take it to? Tony Rocco's transmission, and down in Munford. I could totally see him just selling that. Oh,
Jay Sully said you got to go down to the tracks. That's where you blow a tranny. That's where you want to go. That's what he told us. Every time he blows a tranny, it's on by the tracks.
That's a double entendre there. He's going down to the tracks, which means he's gambling, and then now you're trying to say he's going to end up fucking filleting a fucking person.
Pretty much.
Yeah, all right. Well, I just wanted to make sure that's what you were saying.
Innuendo, out your window, right, Aaron?
It is.
Well, we do get a promo with Kevin Sullivan and Taz after this. Sullivan talking up a surprise or what have you, and woman brings in Crash the Terminator. We all know that's Bill DeMott, but she brings Crash into the scene, and just some crazy cackling from these guys and everything here. I thought it was weird, though, because at the end of the match, they cut away from it quick, but they started showing dissension between Taz and Sullivan, and woman came in, and I think she was going to slap Taz or whatever. But now we get to this promo, and everybody's happy again. So, but does Crash ever actually work on TV after this? I guess we'll find out, but I don't remember.
I think he does, yeah, because I think Crash was there for a while, a few months.
Mm.
I mean, I became friends with him only because of the fact that I think we worked shows that we didn't work on. we just sat in the back and ate. But yeah, I mean, I became friends with Bill, and because a lot of the guys didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of rough when you kind of get brought in and you're getting brought in under a high position, you know?
At this point, correct me if or help me with my history. At this point, had he already done Japan tours, or was he just coming out of? Because I know
he was there.
I think he got his start in ICW, didn't he? That was where he started. Was ICW?
Yeah, but then he was in. He got in ECW because of Wing.
Okay.
Because we've already covered when the Wing guys were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that not happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already covered that. So he was the American gaijin that was there. That they brought him over, and then Paul was like, "All right, well, this guy's great." And then he brought him in, and he lived in New Jersey, so he wasn't even a trans issue, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know how me and him became friends. I guess we just ended up being at the building like an hour or so before the building and opened or anything, and we just ended up hanging out. But yeah, he's a good guy. And I love Crash. I love this Wing stuff. Yeah, that's why he liked me, because I knew him from Wing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was telling him about the bed of nails and all that stupid shit that Aaron would never do.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that shit. Yeah. But it's like you said, though, like you were saying, like Sully was like scooping up talent or eyeing talent from ECW. I mean, obviously he did that with Bill, because as soon as he started doing the Dungeon of Doom shit, he brought Bill in. So
yeah,
Sully knew what he was doing.
Sully?
Not Jay Sully. Clarification.
I'm just trying to figure out, why did you just waste fucking 25 seconds of this show to try to say that Jay Sully was the guy that discovered whoever the fuck you just said, because I couldn't believe you said it.
Jay Sully can't even find the back door.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there going, I'm boggled going, Sully? What the?
I forgot that Jay Sully and Kevin Sullivan. I didn't even think about it.
Only thing Jay Sully can find is his way to the building. He seems to keep showing up until they either revoke his license or change the building.
The last match on this show has
was Cabrini. I heard that was the whole reason they left Cabrini, was they were like, we're going to leave Cabrini. Nobody tell Jay Sully. Nobody tell him. But he figured it out anyway.
He's still in the locker room.
I bet fucking Hunter Q. Robbins told him where they moved to.
Both of them.
What a stooge.
They're both at Cabrini, and people are just working around them. Like, they don't know why they're there. They just keep walking around them while they're just sitting there in the locker room, and they're just waiting to go on.
Interview people.
They're like Dennis Stamp. They're just waiting for the call. I know they're going to call.
I love that.
Jumping on their trampoline with their little baby weights.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go so far as say that. You get the picture.
The last match on this show is Hawk. Road Warrior Hawk against the Pitbull. And, well, I mean, it's not pretty.
No.
At one point, Pitbull gives Hawk a clothesline that he completely no-sells. Surprise, surprise. Hawk hits the clothesline off the top rope for the pinfall, of course. Any comments on this match, guys? Because those were my only notes here. I knew what it was going to be going in, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Aaron, if you have anything to say, I really don't have any much to say other than, oh, boy.
It was finally the payoff to their big epic WCW feud between Hawk and Jason, so we got that paid off. That's good.
Well, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad they settled that score.
And the aftermatch here has lots of things that don't make a lot of sense. The Public Enemy attacks Hawk. Taz and Sullivan come out, get involved. Shane Douglas comes out and attacks Kevin Sullivan. And then Terry Funk comes out with a ladder and goes after Shane Douglas.
I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
I don't either. Like, I'm watching it going, I have no idea what's going on here. What is this?
I almost think that Paul called in like a remodeling company when everybody started coming out with all the fucking tools and stuff and I'm just thinking like, what is Paul going to do? Some renovations? What is that ladder that Terry Funk's got? So somebody can finally take down that hideous yellow ECW sign. That's what that ladder's for. Yeah, dude. I wasn't a fan of that either. Something tells me that something went wrong.
There's been a few times since Paulie's taken over, and you guys tell me if you think I'm off base. We all know that he's trying to do something different. We all know he's trying to present ECW as this hardcore federation, and that's good. But I think there's times where at the end, if you notice, it's a lot of times at the end of the show, he tries to get this chaos going on, which I see what he's trying to do, like, oh my God, anything can happen. Look at this chaos. But in a way, it's got to be controlled. You have to make it make sense, and I think later on he figures that out. But this is the beginning of those, like Aaron's talked about before, we've discussed before, there are ECW shows that you watch from going, say, like 96, 97, where the show starts out with an opening match, and it's just continual action for 2.5 hours until the end of the main event. It never lets up. There's always a run-in. There's always, and I think this is the beginning of that, and Paulie just hasn't found his...
It's AEW.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's absolutely right.
And it's not, and I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that it's right. It depends on what your perspective of pro wrestling.
Right.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I like it. I can't wait to get done with you two fucking goofs in a little while and go in there and watch AEW in a minute. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's much more anticipating to wait for an AEW show than to sit here and go, oh my God, babe. After this last episode of Alice, it's 8 o'clock on Monday, and we're going to watch Raw.
Can we just watch Alice again?
Yeah, dude. Thank God they had a Labor Day marathon of Alice. It was on for 48 hours. I watched every episode. Florence Jean Castleberry, kiss my green.
Well, Aaron, we'll start with you this week on the... Actually, no, we won't. Well, yes. First of all, Aaron, tell me what you thought of the show. Give it a grade of some sort, or no grade.
I gave it a D+. I thought it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just kind of there, and like I said, there was elements of what's to come with ECW. There was some cool shit in there, but for the most part, it was kind of was what it was.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of liked 911 stuff. The crowd was hot for that, and
they were.
Bruise Brothers, they had a good brawl, and
Bob got beat up. That's great.
Yeah, you got to see a good ass kicking. You got to see a title change and a brawl at the end. That even though it didn't make any sense, it was still a brawl. So it was a D+.
That's a solid grade.
That's kind of where I
was.
Yeah.
There, Nate.
Well, I was exactly with Aaron. There were some highlights in this show of things evolving, and like Aaron said, they'll let us down again because we say it every week. Oh, look, we're getting there. But I agree. I say D+ because it wasn't a terrible show, and it was just, like you said, Aaron, it was just kind of there. It was there. It served a purpose. It didn't ever lose my interest, So
yeah, but it never gained your interest either.
Yeah, true. It was
it was there. Like if your wife was like, "Hey, will you put them fucking dishes away? You know, will you do this? Okay, well I'm going to leave ECW on in the background." Oh, okay, whatever. Just do something besides watch this crap.
So
is it my turn?
Yes, and then we need you to tell us the Hambone of the week.
Well, I mean, after the helicopter flies over my house now, if it's not the ice cream man, it's the helicopter guy. I gave it a D for dude. It's just not. It wasn't good. Even the stuff with me. Well, I never think the stuff with me is any good, but yeah, it wasn't any good. If I don't have a full page of notes, it's not great. And now, are we getting ready to segue into the Hambone of the week?
We are. Chad gets to be the man to pick. As everybody knows, we have a new tradition here on Reliving the Extreme. Every single week, one of us yahoos gets to pick the Hambone of the week. And
we don't have like a bumper or anything, like any sort of.
Oh, buddy, I'm looking for something. Believe me. It's funny that you said that because I was looking today to try to find some kind of a thing that I can put in here when we do the Hambone of the week.
Because, I mean, if this is my first opportunity to pick the Hambone of the week, you know, I really had to look hard because there were so many people on the show that we watched that definitely represent Hambone. Pork, shoulder, and ham. They represent all things. But the person that I'm gonna nominate and say is the Hambone of the week is the love of my life, Jess, because she never got me up on Friday night to do the show when we were supposed to do the show, and that was the only thing that she had to do the whole entire night. Nothing to do. You could smoke all the blunts you wanted. You could do anything you wanted. All I asked you to do was get me up in time to do the show. And she totally fucking said, I'd rather be Hambone. And so therefore, that's why I asked you if I could use my creative liberties. Because anybody on the show could have been Hambone. I mean, come on. I mean, Peaches, she's almost not. She's almost an expired Hambone. But yeah, my choice goes to the lovely Miss Jessica. She's my Hambone of the week because she had one job was to wake me up to do the show, and she couldn't do it.
Well, Jess, welcome to the elite of the elite. You are right there with Jason, the sexiest man alive, and Jay Sully so far as Hambones of the week.
Jason, Jay Sully, and Jessica. So what? Aaron, next week you're going to pick JT Smith?
Well, I'm just excited because now we can actually have somebody that can give, when we do the Hambone Hall of Fame, we got somebody that can actually do like an induction speech.
What? Who? JT Smith?
No, Jessica.
Oh,
lady, she can give us a speech.
I thought it was going to be JT Smith. Save you, man. My dog be liquid, your dog be balls. Yeah, Jess is the Hambone of the week. It's all she had to do. At a 24 hours of the day and 15 minutes, all she had to do was go, "Hey, honey, you're doing a show tonight." I already had the notes. I already had everything written down, ready to go. Or, no, nothing. And then she goes, "I am so sorry. Like, I got to tell these two guys that live in Ohio that you're sorry that you couldn't wake me up."
Oh, shit. I did not see that one coming. Good Hambone of the week, Chad. Good job.
She appreciates it, she said.
Everybody, before we sign off this week, I do want to encourage you, if you have not yet, to check out WrestleNet Radio. It is 24/7, 365 wrestling talk that you can listen to on your cellular device. Download the app in the Google Play Store for Android. And, of course, join our Reliving the Extreme group on Facebook if you have not yet. Join us for Reliving the Extreme and the We Can't Wrestle podcast as well. Chad, anything you want to plug before we get the hell out of here this week?
Nope. Just find me on Facebook, and then if you want old school wrestling videos, check out Chad's Video Vault. It's a private group, but I'll add you. And I sell a lot of old. I just came across some California stuff from '77 to '79 that I was fortunate to come across. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, Aaron.
Just keep listening to all the shows, supporting the Facebook pages, and all that good shit. And thank you guys for listening and not making us the bottom of the barrel of the wrestling podcast, or right in the middle.
That's Archie Mitchell's nonsense. That's what Archie does. Nobody can smell that shit. Fuck it. He lives too far away from listeners.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next week on Reliving the Extreme. Have a fantastic week. Reliving the Extreme is a production of Maxin' Out Media, all rights reserved.